So let's get started, guys. So let's start off with the DIY section. So for the crown, I got these different sized metal rings, and to give it like a more handmade, like something similar to Dreamcatcher rings, I'm going to just tape it with a paper tape like this, and this is how it would look. Then I bought these crochet laces, so I'm going to cut these individual flowers and arrange them in different patterns. So for this one in particular, I got 3 of them and stuck them together, and here I'm just sewing both the edges first, and then once it is nicely secured with the ring on both the sides, I'm going to start weaving the web. Now this is a little tricky, so every time you interlock, every time you go over the ring, you want to interlock it like so, and you want to make sure you hold it with your hand so that the loop just doesn't move around the rings. It stays secured where you actually want it to be, and you want to make sure you really weave the web really tight. Once you reach at the end, you can secure it at the back side, and similarly I did the rest of the rings with different patterns. And to secure all of them together, I use a metal wire which is very flexible to move around, and I'm going to fix all of this in a pattern I want my crown to look like. And then to make sure that it stands on my head firmly, I'm going to attach this hairband, and for further securing I'm going to glue it excessively, as you can see, with the glue gun. And for extra holding, I'm going to glue those rings where they intersect each other. I'm going to glue them further. And then for the feather hangings, I took a woolen thread and I used these pearls. So I wanted to secure them in place. I didn't want them to move around, so I'm going to tie 2 knots on top and bottom both so that it stays in place. So basically each dangler had 2 pearls and 1 feather at the end. So I made almost like 40 of them, and yes, this wasn't easy task, but yes, the end result was really good. So I don't regret. So yeah, I also had these laces, so I stuck them with different heights and different lengths, and this is the prettiest dream catcher ever that I've seen. So then I move on to earrings. So I had these earrings, so I did the same thing what I did with the bigger rings, and then for the feather dangler also the similar thing but without the pearls. And yes, that's pretty much self-explanatory, as you guys can see. And then for the necklace, I wanted it to be again full of pearls, so I'm going to use the same metal thing and rearrange the pearls and made a double layered necklace. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So moving on to the makeup bit. So I'm going to start off with the primer first, and then I'm going to use the color corrector palette, and taking the orange and the yellow shade, I'm going to color correct under my eyes and over my pigmentation. Then for the base, I went in like for a really white, like a very very light tone of the NYX Total Control Drop Foundation, and applied it all over my face, neck and chest, as you would see. And once it is nicely spread over my face and neck, I'm going to just use the sponge to blend everything nicely and seamlessly. And then here I'm setting my eyes and under my eyes with a loose powder. And for the rest of my face, I'm going to use the NYX HD finishing powder. Now to create the gradient that I wanted for the look, so I'm going to take that full throttle palette, and I'm going to take the dark purple shade, and I'm going to start shading, creating a gradient. So basically the peripheries are going to be dark, and then moving towards the center of the face, it's going to be the lightest. So the second shade that I'm taking is the pink one, which I'm trying to blend nicely with the purple. And I'm also going to do the similar thing on my neck. Here I'm also adding some on my cheeks as a blush. That shade goes right into the center and wherever you see the white part. So we are going to apply that. It's going to give a nice sheen, at the same time make the whole gradient effect like really dreamy and shiny. So then taking this pencil, I will leave all the names in the description box below of the products used, so don't forget to check that out. So I'm going to just map out my dream catcher and the danglers that I want on my face wherever I want. So it's just a rough sketch. So yeah, right in the center of the forehead I have the bigger dream catcher, and then I have like the smaller one at one side of the eye, and the other side has all the danglers. So here I'm using a black liquid liner, and I'm just going to now start outlining the sketch that I made. So I wish this was as easy and as quick as you guys can see it here, but it was not, because it was really time consuming. Every line, every stroke had to be very perfect and very neat. At the same time, with all those detailing, it was really difficult, but I really enjoyed and I loved the final output, so I'm happy. And yeah, once that dream catcher, the small one on the eye, is done, I'm going to just create those danglers right there with a bronze liner. And here I'm using a white water activated paint to just create those feathers. Now the trick that I discovered was you really have to have a very light hand and just go with the flow. So yes, so moving on to the next time, I'm going to take that shade and just apply it all over my eyes for a sheen. And then taking the pink shade, I'm going to apply that right into the crease and also in my lower waterline. And I'm going to take the gold shade to highlight under my brows. And then I'm also taking the same crease shade under my lower waterline. And once that was done, I'm going to take the darker shade to create more intensity and depth right there into the crease. So yes, take your time to blend. Blending is the key, as you guys know if you have been watching my videos. And as you would see, I'm also dragging it very lightly, like slightly over my nose, just to give a little drama to the eye. And then I also highlighted my inner corners with the same base eyeshadow. And here I'm just cutting the crease and clearing it up with a concealer. And then I'm just going to set all of that with a white eyeshadow. And I also did that blue, a little shading with the blue eyeshadow right there, as you would see. And then I'm using the base eyeshadow that we used to just blend everything out. So here I'm going to here I'm going to just darken up the lines that we mapped with the pencil. And these are going to be like the danglers that are coming out from the dream catcher, the hangings or danglers, what I would like to call. So yes. So now finishing up with, I'm jumping here and there, guys, because it's just how I am. So yeah, here I'm just finishing up a little detailing work on the bigger dream catcher. So I'm making some green pearls there, and then moving back to my eyes, I'm just creating the small feathers that I did for the other eye. So that's just similar to that. And yeah, as I said, just be confident with the strokes that you make, then only you're going to get a perfect feathery looking feather, like with those strokes. If you are not confident, you just have to go with your gut and just be very, very free flowy with this. And yeah, I also made these small red pearls right there. We're going to put we are going to embellish that later on. You don't have to be really precise with that. And then I moved on to applying some glitter right on the white eyeshadow that we applied, and then some mascara. Again, I am going to put like really dramatic lashes, so yeah, but I still wanted some mascara there, so I'm doing that. And here I'm just taking the gel liner from NYX Cosmetics to tight line my upper waterline. And before I go in with some painting there on my neck area, I'm going to just highlight all these areas with the I think it is called the Stroke of Genius palette. Yes. And then also on my face, and you want to be careful around the feathers. So yes, here I'm going to create 3 feather hangings. And as I said, be very the trick to getting a perfect feather is just be confident with the strokes and just go with it. So yes, I'm going to also highlight a bit here and there with black water activated paint, just to give a little 3D three-dimensional look, as you would see right there. So yeah, that's one feather ready, and I did the other 2 as well off camera. Once that is done, I'm going to create some more dreamy sort of an effect with these white dots. So mainly concentrating around the dark shaded areas, and as I move outwards, I'm going to make it more sparse. and I'm going to do that on my face as well, mainly around the small dream catcher, basically where my highlight is. So yeah, and just to bring the face and the neck together, I'm going to just create some shades and depths right there with the same blue shade. And here I'm just finishing up my feather and like the face look with some embellishments. I used red small stones and also some tickies, and a bigger larger stone right on the center of my big dream catcher. And I also finished applying lashes and wore my earrings. These lashes were, by the way, black. I painted them blue and white just to give some drama to my eyes. Also applied some liquid glitter over my eyebrows. So I'm going to use these three shades to create an ombre lip. So first I'm going to fill in my lips and line my lips with the lip liner, and then with the second darkest shade I'm going to apply it all over my lips like so, and then with the darkest shade of the three I'm going to apply it right on the outer corners, as you guys can see. And the lightest shade, the gray kind of a shade, would go right into the center. And before it just dries out, I'm going to apply some glitter that we applied on our eyes. And yes, that's the finished look, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I hope my video is worthy to qualify for the next round. And also do let me know what do you think about this look in the comments below. Like it, share it, and don't forget to subscribe. Till then, stay happy, stay gorgeous. Bye.